Hello and welcome back. So the challenge is going well, but I am completely mixed up as to what days I've done and what days I need to do. So you may watch the videos and think, blooming, what is she on about? It's day 21, not day 22 or something similar. Yeah, I'm finding I'm getting myself really confused on the days. But what I will say is that I have just sent 3 plants out of the house with a friend, which have not been counted in any of the days. I'm putting a lot of my plants on oleo because I think we're getting the ball rolling with regards moving to a smaller house. We've had the house valued, and that's step 1. We haven't gone any further just yet, but we will see. We are viewing a house tomorrow, but that doesn't mean that we will actually move. But what I have thought is I have loads of plants. I have such a lot of them, and with me striving for minimalism, they are one of those things I thought, but I like my plants. I'm a big plant person, so I'm going to have to be a minimalist, but with lots of plants. But now that we're considering selling the house, I feel that I needed to let a lot of them go. A lot of the plants started as one plant and have ended up, so for example, my peace lily, I started off with 1 peace lily. I now have 4, plus 1 that I gave to a friend when she moved into her new house. So that's 5 that came all from the first one. I have actually said goodbye to one of them today. I think it's one of them, yeah. I said goodbye to one of them today, so I still have 3 in the house. But I've also said goodbye to some aloe veras and a dracania and some cacti that you won't necessarily see them all in the videos. So if I've got my numbers wrong, there are a few things that have gone and not been included because I'm really not quite sure. The main thing is, what I wanted to say was about this challenge, for me, it's been fabulous because it's got the ball rolling and, you know, it's just like a snowball, really. It's getting bigger and bigger and it's starting to make great sense to me now, the starting with one thing and progressing up. It kind of did make sense anyway, but I always thought to myself, it's just going to get harder and harder, so surely you should start with 30 when it's, you know, because I imagined by after 30 days you'd be thinking, oh, I'm struggling to find the one thing. But no, it's working for me, and what's happening is my mindset is shifting. So things I've been keeping in the house just in case, I'm finding it easier to get rid of them. There are a few that I'm sure by the end of the month I probably will have got rid of. For example, I was going to have a coat in there today because I feel as if I've got too many coats. Well, more of a jacket, I guess. And I put it on and looked in the mirror and thought, quite like it. It's foolish to try things on. I've made that mistake many, many times when I've got clothes that I'm going to get rid of. And I always try them on before I make up my mind. And I would say that probably 75% of the time I think, oh no, I'll keep it a bit longer. So that was a bit of a mistake, but, you know, we're not at the end of the month yet, so it may well still go. So please forgive me for getting my figures all wrong, not remembering what day we're on. And, you know, you might watch it and think, this doesn't make any sense at all. She's already done day 21. She's doing it again or whatever. Or we're supposed to be on day 23. Why is she doing day 25? Whatever. You know, so please forgive me for that. I can only blame my menopause brain. It is crazy, the things that I now say, do, forget, don't forget, because of the menopause. I will forget random words, why I've walked into a room, so many things. And I know that a lot of you will say I can relate to that, but since the menopause, it is so much worse and so frustrating at times. But I do blame everything on the menopause, everything. Because I find that if you type it into Google, they'll say, yeah, that's the menopause. Aching bones, aching joints, bit of weight gain, you know, leaky bladder, forgetfulness, hot flushes, cold flushes, not sleeping, sleeping too much, being really, really tired. It can all be down to the menopause. So at the moment, no matter what's wrong with me, my finger hurts, and that'll probably be the menopause. Anyway, this video wasn't meant to be about that. Let's get on with the video and see what we've got rid of. I think we've still only done 2 more days. I must catch up. Okay, so I've started collecting things up for day 22, and I'm taking this quick video now because these 3 things have already been claimed and they're going to be gone out the house before I do the whole 22 items for day 22 video. So there you go, just to let you know, 3 of them are going. Okay, the first thing is I cleared all the junk off my sideboard, look, made it tidy. It's mostly on the table. These are some of the things that are still waiting to go, like the slow cooker, which I counted in my last video, that's still waiting to go. It's other stuff that sort of needs sorting out and putting away. And then here we come across to the stuff I'm getting rid of. So on top of those 3 items, you will probably notice that this plant was in those 3 items. That's because I made a mistake with which plant the lady was collecting. She didn't take the aloe vera, she took a different one. So that one has gone and this one is in here. Does that make sense? So there was those 3 items that you've just seen. And then we have got, try and keep on track this time, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, so let's go over those 22. Did I say 22? 22 items. I really completely lost count. Yeah, it's got to be day 22. Those 20, anyway, we definitely did 22 items. So let's go over them. I have got 5, I think, 1, 2, 3, 6 bags, gift bags, 4 bottles of wine, because my husband tends to receive a bottle of wine for every birthday. And, well, more than 1 bottle of wine, obviously. He's just had a birthday. We've got several of these. I've kept 1 so that if we have somebody that we want to give a bottle of wine to, I've got 1 bag, but I don't think I need 7 of them. So these 6 are going. I've counted them as 1 item. I quite like these gift bags actually from a zero waste point of view, because people do tend to reuse them. They tend to get circulated around. So although I don't go out and buy them, they do, obviously, when they come into our house, I reuse them, and I'm fairly sure that when I pass them on to other people, they reuse them as well. So cardboard gift bags are kind of the way to go if you're trying to become a little bit more zero waste. Go away from the wrapping paper and move on to the gift bags. You've probably already done that. People do that anyway, don't they? The aloe vera plant. Now, I'm getting rid of a lot of my plants, as I said earlier, because we are thinking about putting the house on the market, and I love my plants. I've got loads of them, but I do think they can make the place look a little bit cluttered, and they might make a difference to a house sale. So although I don't want to get rid of them all, I am giving them away on Olio. And aloe vera plants are the sort of thing that I've got lots of. I can see 3 on my windowsill right now, plus this one is 4. This one has a pop, little baby in here. So if I was repotting this, that would then become a 5th plant. And I often give them away because there are so many of them. And the ones on the windowsill I can see, 2 of them are full of babies. So I think I would possibly have around about 10 aloe veras at the end of the day if I repot them. I've put this on Olio, and I've commented when I listed it that there is a pop in there, and if it's repotted you will have 2 plants, and somebody is coming to collect it, so she's aware of that. So let's hope that it's going to a good home and it's going to be well looked after, because I've given loads of these away in the past, and a lot of people have said to me, I killed it, it died, what did I do? I said, these survive best if they're a bit neglected. I've got one upstairs in the bathroom that hardly ever gets any water, and yet it flowers. It's the only aloe vera I've ever had that flowers, and it's probably my most neglected plant. So I do keep saying to people, please don't give them too much TLC. But they do like, as I was just stroking the leaves there, because that's my kind of dusting them, getting the dust off by giving them a stroke. They do like that, but they don't want you to keep giving them water. Anyway, going on a bit too long. I purposely, when I looked after my grandson yesterday, I purposely read these 3 books to him again, so that I felt that they'd done their job. They've been read several times. I got them secondhand, and I'm ready to move them on because I find them a bit boring. Let me show you. I know they're aimed at babies, but look, there's like a sentence per page, a really short sentence. And when I'm reading to him, I like to really read to him, so I prefer the books with more words in. So those 3 can go now, because we had our final read of them yesterday. I used to be heavily into crafting, and so I've got a little scrapbook here that I bought because I found that most scrapbooks were for girls, and this was one I bought with the intention of doing it for a boy, and never did. And I have had this in my presence for, I'd say, more than 10 years. I honestly would, and I've never actually started that scrapbook, so that's going as well. I don't have to do the counting. That's why I did that little video beforehand, because I thought, let's get them counted first and then we'll talk about them. I've got here is a little purse, and this purse, although I've counted it as one item, is absolutely full of hairbands, hair ties. They're all new. They will have been from my daughter, who obviously bought them because she gets through a lot of them, excuse me. And as I've said many, many times, she's left home and she's gone to the other side of the world. So I can't see her coming home and taking them back. So that's that. I do have a lot of stuff upstairs, and with most of it, I send her a little Snapchat and I say, do you want to keep this? And if she says, no, that's fine, it can go. Whereas this, I haven't bothered asking her. I'm fairly sure she won't mind this going. It's been sat around my house for the past 5 years. So I'm making that decision. And as I've said before, within the rules, really, you shouldn't get rid of other people's stuff, just your own. But I've got to know my daughter well enough over the 5 years she's gone. I kept all her stuff, and slowly over time, we have had little FaceTime videos where I've shown her what's there, and she said, yeah, you can get rid of that. Please, can you keep that? When we've gone to visit, we've taken stuff with us. When she's been to visit, she's taken stuff home. And what's left now is 2 boxes. And because the house is possibly going on the market, I want to get them emptied and gone. So I have Snapchatted her with a pair of shoes to ask if she wants to keep them, but of course she'll be asleep at this time of day. So if she Snapchats back and says no, they can go, then they'll definitely be in a future video. So there we are. In this little parcel here is a dress that I've just sold on Vinted today. It's not been parcelled up yet, so I could show you, but it's wrapped in tissue actually. I won't take it out. It took me a little while to get it in that bag. Very bright, colourful dress because, as I said before, I love my colours. Do have too many clothes. So now, excuse me for leaning across. It's just the way I've set the camera up because the other side of the room the light was behind me. Hang on. I have a little pile of stuff here, which is all being donated to my church because I run the youth club at church, and these will all be used within the youth club. They are my items, but I probably bought them for youth club and have kept them in my garage for some strange reason. Partly, I think, because we don't have a massive amount of storage at church. So youth club stuff, I keep it in my garage. I buy it, often with my own money. I'm trying to justify why I'm counting it as me getting rid of my stuff. So it's often been bought with my money, stuck in my garage thinking I'll take that in when we need it because there isn't room to store it at church. And now I have been into my garage and I've had a clear out, and I'm like, right, these things are going to the church, and if there isn't room for them, then they'll have to just go. First is a tub full of little mini pinwheel things. I think we might make some cakes at youth club and they can stick a little pinwheel in the top to make them pretty. So that's the first thing. A little tub of shuttlecocks. I probably picked this up in a charity shop because we have badminton at youth club, and I probably thought, oh, we need some more shuttlecocks, I'll get them. Goggles, which again, I bought these with the intention of using them when we play like water pistol type games. One of the games I'll play with the children is where we stick a plastic cup on your head and somebody else has to shoot it off with a water pistol. So it's a good idea to have a pair of goggles on so that you don't get water in your eyes. You can have that game if you want it. If you're involved with children, please take it. Some juggling balls, which look like Brussels sprouts. I think these might have been given to me from my daughter. She used to have a partner years ago who enjoyed juggling, and I think he would have perhaps been given them for Christmas and didn't want them, and they were given to me for youth club, and they're still in my garage after all these many, many years. And then I have some heat shrink stuff. Are you familiar with this? It's great. They draw pictures on it, colour them in, and then you put them in the oven and they melt down much, much smaller, and you make key rings and things like that out of them. Again, I bought those for the intention of youth club, but I've kept them at my house, and no longer am I willing to keep stuff at my house. Also here, I'll just get half of it because it'll make life easier. I have a like little fondue thing. You know, it heats up and you melt your chocolate in it, and then they dip their marshmallows in. Again, I bought it for the use of youth club, and although we have used it at youth club, it's always come home with me every time, and now it's no longer coming home. I'm going to sort out a cupboard at church, and it's going to be the place to keep these things. I have a waffle maker, which I've used once and decided I don't actually need this cluttering up my cupboard. I believe that I could manage to make waffles without a waffle maker. I can't actually. But I don't think I need a waffle maker. I think I could make something very similar just in a pan, but it's not going to look like a waffle. And then I have 2 candlesticks. I've counted them separately as item 1 and 2 because they were bought for me separately. They weren't bought and given to me as a pair. They're not a pair. They don't match. Little bit sorry to see them go because they were a gift, and I always find it hard to get rid of gifts. But I can't see myself actually using them before we decide to sell the house. So sorry to the people who gave me them as gifts. And I think that was the lot, actually. I'm not going to count up again because we did that in the last video. Oh, the only final thing, which I can't show you because I'm using it to rest my phone on, it's become a really good phone stand, is the Fox water filter. If you spotted it there, if you're familiar with Fox, they're a company who decided that we throw away far too many water filters. You know, the things they usually buy Brita, and you put them in a jug and then you filter your water through them. And we have very, very hard water where we live, so we need to filter our water, otherwise we get like a scum on the top of our cup of tea. And I felt the same when I started my zero waste journey. Was, oh, there's plastic that's involved in these jug filters. I did justify it because I'm not buying bottled water. But then when Fox invented this, basically it's just a filter, and you open it up and you put in they're like little tiny, they're sort of charcoal type ball things that you filter the water through. And I started using that. Only trouble was the jug, glass, which is great, but it was very big and heavy, and it was very tall, and it was just quite cumbersome, and my husband hated it, and I kept saying, well, you know, tough. But then Fox came out with this brilliant little invention, which is a new filter that will fit an existing Brita jug. If you've already got a Brita jug and you wanted to move on to their filters, but you didn't want to buy their jug. And I decided I was going to go for one of those because the Brita jug is a better design. It's designed to fit nicely into your fridge door. We have like a 1.5 sink in the kitchen, and it fits in that half sink nicely when we're filling it and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm really waffling on, but we changed back to a Brita jug, but with a Fox filter. And this jug I've kept in the cupboard since, oh gosh, I can't remember how long we've had that jug actually, but I've kept this jug in the cupboard just in case, because they are the sort of thing, because our water is so hard, they get a bit manky with lime scale, and they are the sort of thing that after maybe a year or two you do want to change. And I thought, well, I'll keep it in case you decide to go back to it, but I've decided now I'm not going to go back to it. I'm going to stick with the one I've got, and I'm doing a good job of doing my best to make sure I keep it clean and lime scale free. So yeah, that's the thing that my phone is resting on, which I will show you, just in case you're thinking, I don't remember seeing that. What was it like? Show me. Here you go. You can see, look, it's very tall. My husband used to say, oh, it's the world's tallest jug, because it didn't actually fit very well in the sink to get it under the tap. And so after about 8 years of using this, I compromised and said, okay, we'll get the one you like. So there you go. Go and check them out if you've never heard of them. It's Fox, which is spelt with a P-H-O-X. Thank you again for watching. See you soon. And moving on to day 22. So I have just had somebody come and collect 2 more plants, which I didn't get a chance to video. He turned up a little bit early. So 2 plants, that's 2. I don't know whether you noticed, but in a previous video as well, there was a blue stripy duvet cover that I didn't count. So that is going into this lot. That makes 3. Okay, and then we have got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and another plant over here, 22. Okay, shall I go through them really quickly for you? Okay, I'm not sure what to do with this because it's got pieces missing. Possibly the bin. I've got a friend, actually I collect wooden things, you know, like you have wooden toothbrushes and stuff if you're an eco warrior. And I saved them when I finished with them for my friend who likes to have a fire pit. So that might go to the fire pit. A nice scarf. It is lovely and I was reluctant, but I don't need it. I've still got 2 scarves, even if I get rid of this one. And in theory, I need 1, don't I? So I decided to let it go. The duckies will possibly go to church. They might become gifts, you know, or prizes if we play games with the youth club children. But they are left over because the youth club children all had one of these at Christmas in a little goodie bag. So they're left over from that. So they might not want them anyway. But anyway, a t-shirt. This I'm going to keep as a prize. We're going to have something like a table tennis tournament and at youth club. So that's what I bought this for in the first place all those years ago. Not quite sure about this because it's a bit sort of sun damaged, I guess, but it works, and don't want to throw it in the bin. Maybe somebody will claim it. I might try it on Olio. Dog lead. I've got plenty of dog leads, so I don't need to keep that. Dog brush I don't use, so that's got to go. Dog nail clippers, because I bought a second pair, which the second pair I bought them because I loved the fact that they had a little guard so you couldn't cut the claws too far down, whereas these you do have that risk of cutting them too deep. So they're going. Yet another shopping bag. The ponchos are those things that you buy when you're at, say, a theme park and you suddenly have a downpour, or you want to go on a water ride but you don't want to get wet. That's what these are from, and I collected these because, as I was saying earlier on, when we do water games at youth club, some of the kids don't want to get wet, so they'll wear a poncho to keep their clothes dry. This is kind of like a wash bag. It was a gift from a friend who made it, so it's very difficult to get rid of because on the little button here it says handmade with love, and bless her, I'm sure it was made with love, but I don't use it, so it's got to go. And a notebook, because I kind of try to be paperless, so I make all my notes on my phone if I need to. So there you go. Can't remember how much is there, but as I said, there are a few things that have already gone. There are a few plants and things. So we're getting there. And I think we've got about 5 days to go. Well, it's the 20, is it the 25th today? I don't even know what day. Yeah, it's the 25th today. So although that was day 22, so I've still got to do 23, 24. But in theory, there's kind of like 5 days left. So I'm quite chuffed, and I'm going to carry on, especially now that we are seriously contemplating moving. It might not happen, but it's set. This is kind of, you know, we've set the ball rolling, and that has really spurred me on with my getting rid of stuff. And this challenge has been fabulous. So I just want to keep going. Come and watch me again soon. Bye.